Earlier in this course, we talked about the Theme Hook Alliance, why it's a valuable initiative, and the problems it's setting out to solve. Later, we added those hooks into the code to make the theme framework we were building support Theme Hook Alliance hooks. Now that your theme has all these hooks all over them, you might be wondering what you can do with them. Suppose you have an image that you want to display at the bottom of the sidebar in every page. You could do this by editing the sidebar.php. But what if you're working on a child theme and you don't want to have a file that overrides the parent theme's version of the sidebar? Or you're working on a plugin and you don't have access to the sidebar.php. You can still add your image using THA sidebar bottom. To do this, you just need to create a function in your theme's functions.php file or your plugin file. In this function, all I'm going to do is add the URL path to the image file I want to add and the HTML markup for the image tag. Then I echo that out at the end. Finally, I hook my function to the THA sidebar bottom hook and I'm done. My image will appear at the bottom of every sidebar. This doesn't need to be images either, it can be anything. I can add Google Analytics code this way. Or I can integrate Google Ads or some other ad service at various strategic places in the page. Here's another idea. The WordPress.org plugins repository has an incredibly popular related post plugin called Yet Another Related Post plugin. This plugin has a particularly well-developed algorithm for matching related posts based on the current post or page's content rather than just relying on tags and categories to establish those relationships. By default, it will display on every single post by adjusting the settings, but what if you only wanted related posts to display on a particular page? Using the YARPP function related posts, you can do this with THA hooks like this. This function checks if the page slug matches the one given and then adds the related post functions. Then I could tweak the settings so it doesn't add related posts automatically and it just uses the template tags. This could expand the outside pages too. You could display related posts on an e-commerce site by modifying that code to check whether the post type was a product rather than looking for a specific page slug. For a recent project, I created a function called isProduction. isProduction simply returned false if the site was in development and true if it was live. I put this function in my theme and then created a plugin that could change that value to true. So if the plugin was active, the site was in production. If the plugin was inactive, it was still in development. Well, the reason why I did this was because this particular site was using lots of different footers and sidebars that were based on content that was coming from the page or the query strings in the URL. So I wanted to give myself alerts and notifications to make sure that things were working the way that they should. In addition to this, I added a function that displayed an alert on the home page saying the site was in development if production mode was false. All of these alerts were hooked into Theme Hook Alliance spaces, so none of these alerts or messages were ever in the actual template files. For example, here's the function that displayed an under construction message. First, it checks for whether the site is in production. If it's not, and we're looking at the front page of the site, it echoes an H4 alert saying the site is under construction. This is hooked to a THA entry before, so it would appear just above the home page content. Without Theme Hook Alliance hooks, all of these things would have involved hacking theme template files to get the same results. But with Theme Hook Alliance hooks, we can put that stuff into a child theme or a plugin and keep it out of the theme.